Welcome. It's day 25, August, live stream number 25. Welcome everyone to today's live stream. And we are going to begin started with another look at the DA-100 certification. So if you're first time here and you've not seen us before, do get to subscribing to the channel. Get notified whenever we go live or we have a live stream or a video uploaded. If you like the content you see, give us a nice thumbs up. We do appreciate all of your support. So let's have a look at what we're going to cover in today's stream. Let's go and get the cursor to play ball with me today. And let me just go and grab the DA-100 and get my mind map up. So we're going to have a quick look again at just the overview of the content, but we're going to now dive in. Yesterday we looked at the dashboard in the day. We looked at the release for August for the Power BI desktop, and we looked at some of the new features like the get CSV by example. So it was a new kind of feature, new connectivity, new kind of capability inside of that model. So we wanted to spare that a little bit, and we went through and showed a little bit of information around that. So what are we going to do today? Well, let's go and have a look at what we have inside of cut over the little video of myself. I don't have my top on. It's nice and warm in here today, so I'm kind of doing a little bit lighter of the wear today just to keep it nice and cool in here. So let me just kind of grab a couple of these at the window, and don't want that either, and get rid of LinkedIn. So let me go and click on the link for the Microsoft Learn, and I'm going to go and bring up the roles for Data Analyst. So if you've not seen Microsoft Learn before, it has some great resources around the materials that get you started on that journey to learn Power BI. So we're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to look at the Analyze Data with Power BI module today. So we're going to go in a lot more detail in the videos that I'm sharing inside of the next few months. So I uploaded episode 1. It's just under 10 minutes, and most of those kind of will be trying to kind of keep between 8 and 12 minutes duration in terms of the content. And we're doing kind of 2 elements of about 100 different session items to cover. So the 50 videos that we have will split the kind of between those 50, and there's a couple of other videos to kind of round out certain elements of that. But let's go look at the Analyze with Data with Power BI. So going down, let's go and see what's inside of this. Now this is part of the Consume Data with Power BI learning path. It's going to showcase what's inside of this. So let me kind of bring that up. Now you see that we have 2 main modules: explore what Power BI can do for you, and Analyze Data with Power BI. So we've already looked at Explore with Power BI. We've looked at some of the examples of some of that content. I'm going to go and keep the rest of the content inside of this module for a later session later this week. And I wanted to just kind of quickly jump into the other module. So let me go back a step there and bring that one up and drop to the next one. I'm going to explore kind of what's in there. So the main reason I want to do that is the filtering is my focus today, looking at how we apply filters on the data. Now, there's 2 ways of kind of exploring the data inside of Power BI. We can filter it as we bring it into Power BI, but we can also filter it once it's in Power BI to maybe kind of filter by a month or a specific product category or some other category slicer that we want to do. So here we're seeing that we're applying the filtering at the report level, and essentially what we're doing is taking that data set and kind of deciding which rows are going to be visible. So we can do that by the underlying data source and feeding into that data source into Power BI, reducing the amount of data in there, so make it nice and efficient in terms of processing that model. Or we can have much larger data set and essentially filter the data at the visualization level. So we need to work out where we're going to do that. Now, how do we do it in the report level? We use something called a slicer. Let's go down a little bit. And you can see here an example of that being kind of played out. Let me just kind of actually just go into this mode, and you'll see that kind of play out. So as they're checking through the different categories inside of that report, the report is responding and giving us those filtering results. So it's filtering the results that's shown on the visualization. Now we have a few different versions of that. We have numeric and categorizational and date-based. So here we can see we're doing it on category. We're doing urban or rural or youth, and essentially we're getting it filtered just for that category. We could have one or more selected at the same time as well, and so some are selected, some are unselected. Okay, and we can use the control key to kind of hold the control key and collect additional settings there. So zoom back out. Oh, I need to do the other zoom out. Let me just move that out of the way because it's going to fall over otherwise. Okay. And also, if you are doing the chat today, let me go and make sure that I've got that running. So just kind of go into turn that on. And vMix Social, these all plumbed in. I just don't know if I had it turned on for that setting. So let me kind of turn that on, and that should be good. And I'm just going to then bring that view up and put it into my monitor, the top there. So if you want to say hello, do so, and we can have that in the chat window, and you can answer questions that you may have. So let's go down a bit further and look at an example. So I'm going to load a Power BI report and showcase that. So let me go grab that, find the cursor. It seems to play hide on me. So this is going to also give you an idea about what we're talking about when we talk about visualization filters, report filters, page filters, and drill through filters. Like, there's so many different filters. So when we talk about filters, we're talking about a specific type, and we need to be specific about that. So generally what we're talking about is report filters in most cases, but there are going to be videos that we relate to where we kind of do a filter on one page, and we want to transfer all that filter criteria through to another page, and that's what we call a drill through filter. And we're filtering on visuals by highlighting certain categories or columns. I'm going to bring up an example of that. Let me just go and open up my Power BI. I only just got back in literally about a minute before I was due to go live, which I got kind of caught outside for a bit. So I should have had this loaded already, but it shouldn't take more than a moment to load. So I'm going to go to the sales analysis PBIX. So you double click on that. So this is one of the previous ones that we loaded. This is a demo PBIX file that comes from Microsoft that we've downloaded from the samples list. And I'm going to go and show that we have a bunch of financials data. I've loaded that yesterday, but I have nothing in the visuals pane. So if I just kind of click a couple of entries here. So let me go and choose maybe this matrix. And we're going to bring in, say, the product into the columns. Just going to try that again, drag that into columns. And in rows, let's say we want to look at the manufacturer. Okay, so let's actually kind of switch those around a little bit, probably easier to do that. So I'm going to switch the product with manufacturer. Let's kind of just move that up and then move that one down. That's probably better. So here we can see that we have just a quick matrix, and we're showing the values in the result set there. I'm going to just quickly bring in a filter pane. So I'm going to grab the year. I'm going to bring that into the left-hand side of the script. So we're going to have that and then change that to filter. So we're going to go to our filter entry, and we have the ability to change that to a drop down or list. I'm going to do it as a drop down. I'm going to see that we can kind of see that we want to have 2013 or 2014. So let me also bring that year into the response of the graph as well. So I'm just going to drop it into the graph there, and we're going to actually put it into the right section. Let's go into columns. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. Let me go and make sure that we have that visible. So this is the filter pane. If I click on 2014, I remove the 2013 column. Okay, if I hold the control key, I get both of them. Now let's see if we wanted to add some additional information, maybe the month name into there as well. So we're going to bring that under the year. Now, if I go, actually, I want to bring that into product. I'm just going to change things around a little bit. So I'm going to put it kind of where I was kind of better visibility on here. So this is what I wanted to show you. So you see here, we've got the year, and then underneath that, we've got the different months. Don't worry about the order at the moment. It's in alphabetical. I would probably sort that for a numeric month number inside of that. But at the moment, I just want to kind of showcase, if we open up August, for example, I've got then the breakdown for the values for that month, and I can see obviously what it would be for previous months. So unhighlight it so it's kind of all visible. So we can see that. Now I want to do there is I've got year for that, and I'm also going to want to bring in the month there, month name into that selection. So let me go and bring that in. So if I click the drop down for year, I then have the ability to see both the year and the filter. So let me go and pick a couple of examples there. And maybe I want to look at, say, a 3 month, so well, 3 different months here, but you probably want to be consecutive. But I've got August. So actually, let me kind of just quickly just do that. I've got December, January, and I want December from the previous year, and November. So I've got November, December, I'll hold the control key and then go to January in 2014. So if I look here, I've got December, November. Again, we want to kind of put it in order. So just click on that. This is how that filtering applies. And we've got it on multiple selections there. We probably want to have a title that's kind of going to tell us which months have been selected. And what I can do is over the filter pane, I can see kind of what we're actually kind of slicing and dicing, and we can see more about the table. So I show the table itself, you'll see that's the structure, but I probably want to do it in a visual format here in the top level. So I'm going to go into this this mode here, go back to reports, choose this report, and then choose it to be a type of report, something more along the lines of this structure. Now it's not very well designed there. We want to see manufacturer. I'm going to move that into the column series because that out of there rather. I'm just going to remove that out and put in the sales price. So put the sales price into the column values, excellent. And we want to do that on product 5 column series. So I'll try that again. Doesn't want to go into that at the moment. Oh, I see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is what I wanted it to look like. I want the December, January, November, obviously not in the right order, but I can see the values now in there. And I have the ability to drill down into, double clicking on the values, or drill back up. Sorry, I can say we can kind of drill up from those years, 2013, and I can drill into the data. And I can see November, December for that year, drill back up. I've got obviously drill into 2014, and I can drill it into January. So the filter we're doing is applying to that data. Now, if I go and take all those filters off, so I click all of 2013 and I click all of 2014, I'm going to get all those results back again. And obviously I can kind of click multiple years here. And that's going to be a problem now because we've only got 12 months visible. So these are the things then you probably want to have your column series by year. So kind of have 2013 and then the 2014 results. So something of this nature. But all we're trying to do is saying the filtering can be applied at a filter pane level into the results itself. So kind of just highlighting one of the results there and being able to then drive into hierarchies and go down to further levels. So we have the ability to do that. I'm going to take that drill through out, and I'm going to kind of right click and go drill up. And now we've got the top level. Obviously there probably wouldn't be a gap, and we do a lot of formatting to get this much nicer. So we would have the ability to also drill and expand. So we can see here we've got the 2013 with the month, 2013 with the month, 2013 with the month. So we need to order this in the right order, but we can see we've got both the year and the month now listed. And now it's a bit easier to kind of determine, okay, we have more than 12 months now because we've got the year and the month listed. So some examples there. So let's minimize that for a second. So as we go further down, we can see that the filter pane can be not only on the canvas, but in this filter pane that's now separate to the report. So we used to have it kind of that it was embedded inside of the controls, and then we had a lot of those kind of hidden and visible kind of filtering capabilities built into the report. But they brought out, the filter pane, which can be visible, or you can also kind of hide that as well. And you can also make it kind of invisible. So when it goes up into the service and we upload that, we can see what we're kind of filtering on. We can see what filter panes are there. We can also apply our filtering in terms of here. So sales price is greater than, and let's kind of just put some numbers in here, and we'll say, I don't know, 10,000, and apply that filter. And the individual sales price is now longer. It's higher than everything. So let's go down a level to 1,000. And now we're starting to see some of the values. But if we kind of hover over this one, we can see it was, sorry, let me go do that again. It was 8,102,000, or sorry, 8,102,920.18. Let's kind of remove that filter completely. And that was, I think, for July of 2014. Let's have a look. Yep. Let's apply that filter. And notice that it's kind of do not change all the results. So we want to kind of understand whether we want to be filtering actually at the summation or the individual level. So clearly all of these values are above a certain number. But we can go and see when items are blank or not blank, and we have the ability to kind of filter on a lot of these values. So let's look at what we have for the individual sales. Kind of take the sales price out. And here's the total sales for those months there. So you can see going from the most total sales for the month down to the lowest sales for a month was September 2013, and October 2014 was the best sales month. But we'd probably want to see this in an actual kind of timeline with the months in sequential order, etc. But we can do a lot of formatting as well, and we can do additional filtering inside of those results. So let me go and just do a sales is, so not that one, month, sorry, doing the right one. Year is advanced, and we're going to change that to basic filtering. And basic filtering then just gives us the values. So here we can see we have 2014, and now we just have 2014. So depends on how you want to do it. Now you could have multiple single selections, so it's only going to allow you to have one or the other, and you won't be able to have both on the screen. So additional filtering capabilities built into the tool. There's so much there that we're going to be able to filter, but essentially we can also go and include or exclude. Let me just exclude that month. And notice what will happen is when we look at the results there, we've got the excluded with the results there. So we have now in that drop down, let me kind of show you, we have the ability where we've excluded that result. Now I could go and do a few more. So let me go and exclude this one and a couple more. Let's go and take that one out as well. So notice that we can build our exclusion list, and that is something then we can make invisible. So we can lock that down. So no one can change that once it's in the service unless they open up in edit mode. But this is kind of then allowing us to filter results that are visible, but it's not filtering the underlying data set. So there's a couple of ways of doing that. We can also go and start filtering the results that we're seeing in here, and we can apply some of those filters. But that's filtering the data set in this data pane. And if we go back to the results there, it's going to be the same values that we're seeing. So we would filter that in the Power Query editor as opposed to filtering it in that results set. Now, there's a couple of ways we'd want to maybe filter in the PQE, Power Query editor phase, or post load of data and get the data filtered at that stage where we're doing it in the report. So we're kind of filtering after we've loaded it, and so it's just filtering for visibility. And maybe for certain reports you want to exclude certain data, you want to focus that data on certain, I don't know, months or categories or, you know, locations or what it might be. You're doing the filtering for, you get the ability to apply those filters. So we have filters on page. We have filters on all pages. We have filters on specific visuals. So these are the two filters on the page. We got all pages, put your data panes in there, filter that. So say 2014. And if I took that year and dropped it into here, Then we're going to clear these filters and unlock that and clear these filters as well to kind of get rid of all of those. And I'm going to go into the filters on all page, and I'm going to go to basic on there. I'm going to choose 2014 and I'm going to lock that. Now, no matter what I do, you see now we only now have 1 year's worth of data available to us because we filtered at all pages. No matter how many pages I'm going to put onto this report now, we won't see anything but 2014 because that's the 2013 has been filtered out. If I remove that and move it into filters on this page, we're kind of achieving the same thing for this page. But if I want to go to another page, I'm just going to do that one and do 2014 and lock that one and open a new page up. And what I'm going to do is going to copy that visual. So copy the visual, open a new page, going to paste the visual. I'm going to come in here. Now I'm going into this filter on this page and I'm going to make that filter 2013. So we'll go to basic, 2013. And what we then do, we kind of skip back between the pages. We've got 2014 page and we've got 2013 page. So you may want to kind of have different pages with different filters, and we can do that in the filter pane, and we can also hide all those and make those invisible as well to other users behind the scenes, so they don't know. They can commonly probably figure out because they can kind of do some investigation, but we're trying to determine what they want to see. And in this case, we're going to make that kind of a 2013 year, 2014 page, etc. Far more, let's go skip over to this page again. So those are the filter panes, and we got filters on page, filters on all pages, and filters on visuals was the final one. Then we kind of go up a level. So if I click on this visual, you'll see that there's another filters on this visual section at the top, and then we got the different columns that are available inside of the axis that we spread. So we've got sales, we've got month name, we've got year. All of those are listed, and we have filter capability on those as well. So filters at page or pages, filters on that page, and then filters on that visual. So you may have certain visuals are filtered in some way, but other visuals on that same page aren't. But filters on that page will apply to all the data. Okay, so that's that. Let me just kind of just go over to, oh, went too far. Let me go back. There we go. And we can reset the filters and clear the filters and have the ability to kind of do a great deal of granularity in terms of that. So filters can be very dynamic. They can be date ranges. They can be based on other field values. And also kind of maybe we have the ability to kind of sort that data as well by certain values, and then as you're doing your filtering, it's kind of moving the visual around to suit that, and conditional formatting would help kind of highlight that information as well. But the filtering at the moment is giving you all of these capabilities. Drill up to the highest level and work your way through the levels, drill down through the levels to the lowest level, move to the next level in a hierarchy, so kind of just stepping through the hierarchies, expand out the sections. We can see the filter icon, which gives us information about what filters are applied on that visual. And if I go and just showcase that, let me kind of just grab that one. Click on this visual here, you can see that we have the year is 2014 or 2013, and there's an additional filter where the year is 2014. So clearly we're only going to get 2014 for both of those. If we go to the next page, and we click on that visual and go to the filter pane for that, or filter icon, we can see clearly all we have that one is 2013. But remember, we could have had a filter on all pages, which we didn't. We moved it around, but if we did, we could have had then seeing that year was one or more of the filters are applied there. Okay, so that's kind of giving us a quick high level to what filters and how we see that visibility. And if I was going to do some additional kind of, maybe kind of check October as well, and then went to the filter pane, you'll notice that we have the month name and that. So we kind of see what filters and slices are applying against a certain visual. Okay, let's go. Now, we don't have any relationships here, and we'll do that in a different video. But if I was filtering on one table that has a relationship, and I filtered on, say, the dates column or the year column here, and I have a relationship and it's filtering down into that other table, I will be filtering results or kind of filtering the dimensional side, potentially like my date dimension or my product dimension. I could filter on that, and then that's going to filter into my fact table, which would be example like the financials here. Okay, didn't want that button. Let's go back to this page. And one of the cool features I really love about Power BI is you can build your own kind of bookmarks, and you can build those internally into the product and then upload them so everyone's got those kind of bookmarks already defined. But you can come in later on and build your own personal bookmarks, as we can see here, and that allows us to apply the filters that we want. So we come back and use that product again, and we open up the report. We have those previous filters at our fingertips, and we can just click on that bookmark and it will load the report with all of those filters applied. So you kind of figure out your report, figure out what kind of filtering you need. You might have half a dozen or more bookmarks that you kind of have that give you kind of those filtering conditions. But the person next to me is using the same report, but they've got a whole bunch of different bookmarks and different filters applied. But the underlying data set is the single data set. The report gets updated, everything's good. But our bookmarks are just kind of saying, well, I want filter here, I want this filter there, I want this filter to be. So think about all of the filtering that we've applied, and I can just bookmark that. And if I go into the report and click on, let's go back to the report itself. So what I'm going to do is going to go view, and I'm going to go bookmarks. And you see the pane comes up. And what I want to do is I'm just going to say, you know what, I've got this filtering where it's the month of October and it's the year is 2013. Let me click on add. Let's give a bookmark name. Let's kind of rename that to so October 2013. Okay, now what I can do is I can clear all these filters that I have. So I'm back to kind of the year, kind of just make sure I've got all the filters cleared out. So clear this one as well. So I think we have all of the results now. So October somewhere in there. Let me clear that one as well. So all the results are back. I go and click on my bookmark, and I'm back to exactly the filters that I applied. So these are the things that we can do to help with the filtering. So that was a quick kind of overview of what we wanted to do in the kind of 30 minutes we want to do for this live stream, kind of just to get you started with filtering. There's more to do, and I've got some specific videos where I'm going into a lot more detail, step by step, on how to build filters kind of over the total reports you have, and then kind of analyze all those bookmarks and have that as a kind of hierarchy of bookmarks. You can kind of click on the report itself. And I do that for some of my customers. Click a little button basically on the report, so I can insert a button essentially onto the report. Let me just do that. So I'm going to do a little button here. So let's kind of do the bookmark one. There we go. So I'm going to grab that over there, put it there, and then what I can do in the, let's kind of get rid of that one. In the action, I can choose the bookmark that I want it to apply. So here we go. Let's kind of apply that one, and let's go and clear our filters and clear the filters as well. So go into this report, clear the month. So here we have, and then if I click control click inside of desktop, I've got my bookmark, and I can kind of list that, you know, give it a name and make it some nice fancy graphing capability visualize, so people can come in and just pick their bookmarks through some buttons and it applies them, and then we can update those bookmarks as and when we need to change the characteristics or the filtering behind it. So that is all for today. That's going to be today's live stream. Thank you for joining. We didn't have any questions today, so I will see you in tomorrow's live stream again, 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time, and we will see you tomorrow for another DA series. And go and check out that new episode 1, and I've got essentially the rest of this week, but I'm working on videos, so you're going to start seeing them come thick and fast into the channel very soon. and let us know what you think. Bye for now. See you in the next one.